Hello, my friend. My name is Terry Petrovick, and I'm here with Bill Pescosolido. How you doing, Bill?
I'm doing well, Terry. How are you?
Good. I want to kind of share with my friend here what it's like being in the home-based business profession and working with your spouse. What's that like? Is that
where do we go with this one?
Yeah.
Well, it's a really good question because I think a lot of people deal with what I had to deal with, and to a certain extent now deal with. As you know, I was in corporate America for just about 16 years, and when my wife Michelle got into network marketing a few years ago, I was not involved at all. I mean, so she clearly got into this before I did.
Right.
So I was still in corporate America for quite some time, as she was kind of testing the waters, figuring it out, just getting involved in the industry and seeing what it was all about. And for me, initially I didn't know what it was. I was very ignorant to the industry, completely ignorant, and I was wondering, what is my wife doing? What are these webinars she's on every night of the week? And oh, I lost my mic.
That's fine.
And all these conferences that she's going to. I'm like, what is this all about? And I slowly but surely though kind of got slightly involved, and I think a lot of spouses would love to get their other spouse more involved. Right. They want to have them at least support them, if not maybe actually help them. And for us, what really worked is that Michelle just got me involved. It started off by going to an event with her, a mastermind event.
Not asking you to do anything in the business, but just tag along.
Right. Just come. Okay. I'm going to Phoenix for this weekend, or Las Vegas for this weekend. That helps.
That's a hard sell.
Right, exactly. But where my eyes were opened was once I arrived at the event and I actually met the people.
Right.
And I went from being concerned and closed off to, and I was concerned because I honestly thought that there were going to be a lot of snake oil salesmen out there trying to take advantage of my wife.
Right.
She's this, I don't know, young, naive female that could
beautiful,
easily, just all those kinds of perceptions. There's some guy who's been doing this for 20 years, just wanted to sell her a bag of goods, take her money, and split. And I felt I had to guard against that.
Right.
Well, to my surprise, I was proved very wrong. And what I learned is that not only were these people not snake oil salesmen, they actually had my wife's and now my best interest in mind. They actually wanted to help. They wanted to elevate her, lift her up, see her succeed. Which is really what I've come to learn is the industry in general is all about. It's really trying to help others succeed and lift everyone up to a higher level, whatever that next level is. So that's really how I became open to it. That's where I made that transition from closed off and concerned to actually open. Michelle fortunately had enough success where in August of last year, of 2011, financially I was now able to actually walk into my corporate America job. And very last day of August, I walked in his office and I said, "Hey, you've been awesome. This is a good opportunity, but I'm out of here. I'm done."
How'd that feel?
It felt amazing, because leading up to that, it was a very typical thing. You've got to ask your boss for permission to go to the dentist. You got to, it's a long
weekend. So you don't
weekend.
need to ask Michelle for permission to go do things now. She just gives you an open door policy.
Open door. I can pretty much. I can hop in the car. If I need to go to the grocery store, I'm free to go to groceries whenever I want. Liquor store runs. I can do it whenever I want. It's really great relationship we have. I'm allowed to leave the house. It's really cool. So, but it was an amazing feeling to be able to walk into my boss's office and say that, and for us to financially, not 100% not skip a beat, but for the most part, we really didn't suffer financially. Maybe a month or two, but we very quickly were caught back up, and now we're making more money working together than we ever did when I was in corporate America and she was doing this by herself.
Right. What about, maybe my friend here watching his situation or her situation, or maybe somebody they know, they're working the business, trying to build their dream, and they don't have a Michelle who's supportive or even doing the business or has any interest. What kind of advice or suggestions would you have for that person?
To try and get the spouse more involved,
or at least give them the space or the opportunity to go and build the dream. Because the truth is that there's a lot of naysayers out there. There's a lot of people out there who have tried it, had no success, and there's a lot of people who quit network marketing. I mean, that's just a fact. But when you're working with a partner or a spouse who's not supportive, what should the person who wants to build it do?
I think that Well, obviously, a lot of this is contingent upon having a healthy marriage in the beginning. I mean, if your marriage is already having problems, I mean, I'm not a marriage counselor, so I can't really go there. But what I think a good strategy might be is to, let's say, the spouse has hobbies or interests of their own.
Right.
Maybe the husband is an avid golfer, or maybe he has a bowling league, or whatever their hobby or interest might be. I think if the one spouse were to start taking more of an interest in the other spouse's hobbies and interests, and don't diminish them, because what you want to get is a quid pro quo. You want to get an I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine kind of thing. And so if you could say, honey, look, if you maybe just listen in on this webinar tonight that I have for my business, I'll go watch you do your thing on Sunday. Right. Or if you just, don't give me a hard time when I'm trying to take a few hours out to work on this blog post or whatever, in turn, I won't give you a hard time when you say you want to go out and play 18 holes of golf with the fellas. Right. So, think about what their interests are and make it fair. It's a balance. Like, honey, this happens to be my interest right now, and I'll support you in your interests, and we'll do that in turn for one another. And I think if you can start with that, almost, I hate to say it, but like bartering, almost negotiating. Look, I'll give you a half an hour if you give me a half an hour. I'll give you space to do your thing if you give me space to do my thing. I think if that really isn't working at all, then maybe there's a bigger issue there. But I think that would be a good way to start. And I think that can gradually lead to, honey, there's a big event this weekend. I'd like for you to attend, just so you can see what's going on. I really want you to share with this and meet the people that I'm working with. And I think, frankly, if your primary company has a trip to win or a vacation to earn,
go for it, man.
Go for it and invite your spouse. I mean, there's nothing better than having your spouse win a free vacation and coming on board and then partying it up in, say, Cancun with all these other people and be able to meet the owners, meet the other leaders, and really share in that aspect of it.
Yeah, results does change attitudes. There's no question about that.
Yeah, so win the trip.
Yeah.
That's a great way to get your spouse.
And it is treating your business like a business. Which is what Michelle did. She created business income and allowed you to, create something pretty significant. And I know as the next 3 to 5 years go by, you guys are going to create massive wealth for yourself. And probably more important than that is to help people, maybe like my friend here, who's looking for a good coach or a good sponsor or a good company that they can rely on and they can count on. So as we wrap this up, Bill, how can somebody get in touch with you and Michelle?
Well, should I get my phone number out, or?
You can do whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Well, we've got a fan page on Facebook, so you could reach out to us on our fan page, which is Michelle and Bill Pescosolido fan page, Facebook. We have.
Could you spell Pescosolido for them?
Sure. Pescosolido. So Pescosolido. Right. We have our blog, which is onlinewealthpartner.com. So those are probably the best two ways to at least seek us out, kind of get to know us. We're always interacting with people on the blog and on the fan page. So you're pretty accessible. Oh, absolutely.
Cool. Yeah. And that's a big part of success, and it's just being available for people. And you may not be able to resonate with him, but wait till you meet his wife. I'm telling you.
Yeah, she's way better than me.
She's a queen. I'm not going to say queen of what? No, she's like rocks Facebook. So if you want to know how to market for free and spend money, Michelle and Bill, they just rock. So. Bill, hey, thanks so much for spending some time with us today, man.
Thank you, Terry.
And,
my pleasure.
Let's go out there, and I hope to see you, my friends, on the beaches of the world and shaking your hand one day. And we're going to be in Cancun in
we are.
A couple of 3 weeks, right?
Absolutely. Can't wait.
All right. My name is Terry Petrovick. You have a choice. Make it a better than terrific day and a prosperous one, because you, my friend, absolutely deserve it. Bye-bye for now.